We are, and we are live. Sandra, I am so excited to have you. Do you pronounce your name Pelley?
Yes, I do.
Sandini? You are the Sandini. I want to say hi to Michelle and Sean and Gail. Gail, I saw your post. I am so sorry about your husband. Prayers out to you, my dear. Prayers out to you. There's so much crazy going on. Um, and I don't know why, but hi, Robin. YouTube will say there's 5 people, then all of a sudden there's 2 people, and then there's 6 people. But Sandra, I want to thank you so much for taking the time. We were just talking off screen about how busy you are and your daughter. I don't even know how you're saying right now that your daughter's getting married, you're getting ready to leave, and yet you came to talk to us about dragon energy. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about, I mean, you and I have been in a few um, spirit classes or sessions together, etc. You bought my cards, my first deck of cards last year, but we haven't really spent, I haven't taken any of your classes yet. So what is the Sandini? Explain the Sandini to me.
I love that. So actually, it's Sandra Pelley, the Great Sandini, and that was a name that was given to me back in 2016. I had this incredible reading by this beautiful, beautiful soul. And it was actually my second reading from her. I'd had one the year before that totally changed my life. So when I broke my pelvis, she came to my home and she gave me a second reading, and that came through the Great Sandini. And I actually had a group at you know, before that it was actually called Sandra Pelley, the Great Sandini. However, stepping into the energy of being anything great takes a little bit of getting used to. It felt very comfortable to say Sandra Pelley the Sandini because,
Yeah,
you know, Sandra, Sandy, Sandini. So yeah,
love
that's
it.
kind of where the Sandini came about.
I love it. And you're in Canada.
I am back. I was born and raised in Jasper National Park, a beautiful, beautiful place. My friends and I often say that that was God's gift to us, was to be born in Jasper National Park. So
I love it. I love it. So I know that you teach a lot of different classes. One of the things that I do with this series that I'm doing is it's so we have the Kitty and I have the Optimize Your Energy class. But because I'm a breast cancer survivor, Spirit spoke to me very sternly and said, one day you need to do more and you need to hold the space for inspiration. And so, yeah, so I piggybacked off of Optimize. So it's optimize and hold the space for inspiration. So far, what I've been doing is talking about my cancer journey. I've not done that on YouTube. I'm 10 years from my diagnosis. I have a Facebook page that was dedicated to it through the eyes of a survivor. And now it's morphed. So I have a lot of people from around the world actually that still follow me, but it's morphed more into just inspirational photography, etc. I've had Amy, hi Amy, the intentional intuitive on. I've had Michelle on my class. And so what I've been class on my channel, what I've been trying to do is bring inspirational people on to talk about things that we can inspire others and hold the space for others and teach them different things. So I know that you teach lots of different things, the medicine wheel and alternative healing and all that great stuff. The dragon energy really spoke to me because I know nothing about it. And I thought that would be very intriguing to a lot of people. So I don't know if you want to kind of tell about all the different things you do, and then we can dive into dragon energy. Up to you.
sure. I think I'll do just a little tiny synopsis because it's really important to understand my journey. Um, I have a program that's called the A Spiritual How To. That's the book that's up here. It's available on Amazon. And in it is essentially tools and the things that I personally did from 2015 to current, well, 2015 to 2018, I guess, actually, that really changed my life and made me confident, had me begin to love myself, being able to stand in the energy of being open with no expectations, no limitations, and being okay with the outcome. And that is my very first mantra, was back in 2015, developed into the I Am Love mantra, started doing soul readings for people, noticed that there was a real similarity between a lot of the soul readings where people were not loving themselves. And that's evolved that book and that program even more. So essentially what that does is it boosts your confidence so that you can create the path that you have always dreamed of or haven't even begun to dream of yet.
Yep. I love that.
From that, because I'm open with no expectations, no limitations of being okay with the outcome, I started getting these hits about a medicine wheel. And the medicine wheel was something that, how do I say this? I guess it was near and dear to my heart because I have status. I have Indian status. My dad's Indian status as well. It comes down from his mom. I mean, I don't look Indian, but I definitely have that roots. And so I wanted to tap into that a lot more. However, I wanted it to be more about, what's the word I want to use? I wanted it to flow. Actually, I'm going to change that words. I was shown to have it flow across the cultures rather than having one culture be the medicine wheel.
Okay.
So it's all encompassing and it's so beautiful because of that. And dragon energy came in very, very early in the creating of that medicine wheel. And in fact, I've actually dedicated, because I've been guided to, the medicine wheel this quarter is dragon energy on every single call. And it's so beautiful and so incredible how much dragon wants to help us. Wow. Do you want to ask anything from there before I go on?
Well, I will tell the viewers and anybody watching the replay that I have linked all of your links, your social media links in the description. Mm-hmm. So if they want to come, if they're a Facebook person, wherever, all of your links are below. Whatever media platform they use, they can find you so they can find out more about the different classes that you teach if they want to possibly take them. So,
beautiful.
Yeah, I'm like so intrigued because I mean, I've been hearing more and more, and I didn't know it, like 2018 was kind of a important year for you. It seems like a lot of us that are together in this, that's about the time we all started to really accept that something bigger was happening.
For sure. Actually, I had a very transformational moment in there. Like I can even give you the date and the time of day even, because it was so transformational. And it was when I really decided that I was worth what I was doing and that I loved myself that much to do what I needed to do or do what I was wanting to do. I wanted to tell you a little bit about dragon energy because I love that you are inquisitive, but you're unsure what this dragon energy is all about.
Yep.
What I've really noticed in my spiritual path is that I'll read a book and holy cow, there's something in it that so relates to my life. And it doesn't mean that I've gone out and bought a spiritual book. I mean, I read a ton of fiction books. I read romance fiction books. I read vampire books that are fictional. I read other world kind of fictional books. But every one of them seems to have something in it that relates to my world. And dragon energy has actually been around before us, honestly. It's well before us. And dragon, just like our Earth, planet Earth, has been transforming over these last 2-3 years, and probably even more before that. Dragon has really started to amp up with Earth to bring us into this in a more natural state, I guess you could say. So even though you are unaware of dragon energy, you still have a dragon. There is a dragon or multiple dragons around you already. Okay. So, yeah.
So is the best way to learn your dragon by taking your class?
I would like to say yes. However, I'm not here to sell my classes per se. I mean, if you're interested in what I have to offer, then definitely look me up. However, one of the easy ways that you can do it is actually, that's one of the things I didn't send to you, but it's in the sandrapelley.com. So if you want to know how to connect with dragon, I do offer a free connect with your dragon meditation that's in my dragon ebook. And if you go to sandrapelley.com, it will take you to that. And then there's a page that says, I believe, it might actually be my very first page. And it says the spiritual how-to on one side and the medicine wheel on the other side. The spiritual how-to has a free gift, and so does the medicine wheel. Both of those are ebooks that are pertaining to those different tracks of interest. So you can find a lot of information in that ebook there.
Gotcha. I did I'm trying to say hi to people so I don't interrupt you in the chat. I did join a meditation that was about dragon energy, and I don't remember the woman it was, but it was through Intuition of the Soul. And I remember she was a very nice woman, but during the meditation, I forget if there was cars or something, traffic or something, and I couldn't focus on the meditation because there was all this background noise, and I got irritated, and so it didn't work, and so I just stopped because I was aggravating myself. So that's about as far as I got with that. So I have not delved at all into what dragons I have, who they are, where they are, or anything like that at all. But it sounds like Sean and Robin have.
Yeah, and I believe Kitty has as well.
Yep.
So do you mind if I do something with everybody right now?
I would love it.
Okay. Yeah, me too, because I've been on a roll today. So let's just take a moment to take a breath.
Okay.
Being open with no expectations, no limitations. And being okay with the outcome. Asking our mind, body, and soul to do whatever it needs to do to heal at this time. And the reason I ask that is because we're healing those timelines and those energy cords with dragon. So asking the mind, body, and soul to do what it needs to do to heal in this space. Asking yourself to be open to receiving. Accepting, trusting, and believing at whatever level you're capable of. I love this because my lips are already buzzing, an indicator of the beautiful energy that's here. So it's truly is as simple as asking to connect with my dragon. So honestly, just say that in your heart, say that in your mind. I'd like to connect with my dragon. Now let me explain some of the things that you may be getting. You may get a feeling, you may get a sense of dragon being with you, you may get an image, you may get a color, you may get an awareness, if you will, a knowing. And whatever it is absolutely fine. Embrace that. Welcome that in and honor dragon with respect. Beautiful. I'm going to ask you, Stephanie, what are you feeling? What's coming up for you? Did you connect with your dragon? And in the comments, if everybody can write if they connected or if they had trouble connecting.
I felt like I did. I felt like it was like a charcoal looking dragon. And I guess I was very much leaning forward, intense. And I just kept feeling him push me back and make me relax. That's what came through for me.
Love it. Love it. I see lots of people are responding here. So Paramount Experience had the white dragon, all white. I've seen that before. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Hi, Sarah. Welcome. So some of these people are new. We started this new Real Paranormal group on Facebook where we're gathering together. And so Sarah has not been to any of my lives. Deb and I have known each other, spectral researchers and I have known each other for a while, but we haven't really been I don't think she really comes to my lives as often. Kitty says she connected through color and a presence over her right eye, blue and green.
Love it. Love it. Yeah. Yeah. So this is the beginning of developing that relationship. Dragon is like any guide. Dragon, you ask Dragon questions, Dragon will provide, right? Sean also said, I see an image of deep red in the distance and warmth and calming space. Beautiful. Yeah. So you can see that a lot of people have different experiences. Sometimes it's just a color. As you mentioned, Stephanie, you felt the real presence right there. And also too, that gentle, it's okay, relax. You can probably get a sense as well of the size of dragon. So let's go back in for just a moment. So closing your eyes, feeling your feet on the ground, taking a beautiful breath, centering in, feel into your heart space. Asking to connect with dragon again, and ask to be shown the size of dragon. Maybe that dragon will show you part of its body, or maybe it can fit in your hand or on your lap. But just allow yourself to be open with no expectations and no limitations. Beautiful. And what's coming up for you, Stephanie?
Again, I got the whole, please relax. And my dragon was like coming in close to me and getting smaller so I could see him, but then going away and getting really big.
Love
Like
it.
I'm focusing, like drawing him in, and then he was going big.
You know what? The same thing happened with me too, because my dragon was black and I got this side view with wings and tail out. It was facing to my left, but I got the side view, and then it came closer so that I could see it, but it actually moved away again and was very large. So I love that we're in sync with that. Also, too, I wanted to mention something because of your experiences twice now about being asked to relax. That is a really good opportunity to breathe your way through that I am open mantra, because it puts you into that beautiful state of being. Okay.
I love it. So Robin says hers was iridescent today, so beautiful. And Sarah, oh, this is interesting. Sarah says it's hard for her to focus because of her kids right now, but she's watching. She's been seeing a lot of praying mantis since she's been starting to open up her abilities. So Sarah is a paranormal investigator as well. And since she's been starting to open up her abilities again, she's seeing lots of praying mantis.
So Sarah, what does praying mantis mean for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a warming and calming, peaceful feeling. My dragon is a juvenile. I've seen him for a few months. He has grown so much. How amazing. That's awesome, Sean.
Love that. Love that. So how do we now be proactive with our dragons? First of all, it's being very respectful to dragons. Kitty's saying she has now got pain on the right side of her head, and that's where dragon was coming in. So let's kind of work with that first before I go any further. So with the energy of what's happening there, is that a direct connection in Kitty that there's something going on with that right side and possibly memories with regards to dragon in the past? So tap into the energy of that and see and ask for an easement, a graceful letting go of that. That yes, I see you, dragon. Yes, I feel you, dragon. My hands are on fire talking about this, and then ask for that to draw out whatever happens to be there. And ask if that's a connection to past lives. or past memories in this time. Okay.
Sarah feels like it's definitely signs from her guides. I am pretty, yeah, definitely signs from your
For
guides. I love
sure.
it, Sarah. Yeah.
If I had my book handy, the Ted Andrews Animal Speak book, I could probably tell you a little bit more about praying mantis. And maybe I'll just give you what I have coming in. Praying mantis is so beautiful because, for starters, it moves forward, it moves back. It's got a very gentle motion happening. There's something to do with that praying, so asking for something as well, because if we ask, we receive. So it's just like when we asked to connect with the dragon today, dragon was there to connect with us. Did anybody have any difficulty connecting with dragon? And Kitty, how are you doing? Are you feeling a bit better? Robin wrote.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I also feel I kind of connect. I could see praying mantis connecting with dragon, but I also get a galactic feeling from that because of the big eyes and like I feel like wide open eyes, seeing, all seeing, being open is what I intuitively get from that.
Yeah. I know one evening I was laying in bed and I was just in that beautiful state of not quite asleep, but not quite awake. And dragon eyes came in like very rapidly and multiple colors, multiple types of skin, or I don't want to say fur because I don't know if there's many furry dragons, but scales and all kinds of things. And it was just all these beautiful colors and dragons coming in very much so like that. Yeah.
Love that. So, how does your dragon energy work with your angels and your guides? Do they work together separately?
I think all angels and guides, well, all guides, period, whether they're animals, whether they're bugs, birds, people, ancient beings, trees, plant energy, dragons, angels, galactic, all of them are working together to some degree. Because if you take a step back and think about it, everything is energy. Everything is energy. And ultimately, we all go back to energy. We all come from energy. And it's our human mind that is creating. I just want to be clear on how this wants to come through. It is our human mind that creates the concept of what an angel looks like, of what a dragon looks like, of what we look like even, right? Mm-hmm. Yep. If I drew you and Kitty drew you and Robin drew you, we probably all draw something slightly different, right? Mm-hmm. So it's our human concept of each of these things. And it's all that energy coming together. All those angels and dragons all work together. Yes. So I've done, I know I keep saying, how do I say this? Because that's me taking a moment to let what wants to come through with the divine guidance. That's why I keep saying that. It's not because I'm confused or something like that. I'm just I'm allowing what wants to come through me instead. Okay.
Yep.
Kitty's head feels stretched now. It's not so sharp. Good. Glad to hear that. Yeah. And Robin says, thank you for saying trees. I call them into my meditations. Exactly. Yeah. Different times in our lives bring out different animals or insects. For sure, Sarah. Yeah. So when we're talking about dragons, they can take us on journeys. Okay. So that's why I love doing the shamanic work in the medicine wheel with the dragon, because we can go into there and we're following the moon cycles. So if it's a full moon, we're setting intentions and planting the seeds of things. Depending on which side of the moon we're on, we're possibly releasing things and letting go, or possibly reaffirming things. So each time that we go and do a journey with dragon, we step into concreting that, making a plan, setting an intention, and then moving forward with those plans. So for instance, if you, Stephanie, I know you have a lot going on in your world right now, and you could actually call on dragon to start to show you the path. And by the path, you could be clear about, okay, do I want that path to be shown to me? That's about my relationship with spirit. Do I want that path to be shown to me about how I can effectively work with dragon? Like dragon can help with all of them, just so you know. Any guide can be, but I love working with dragon. That can working with our career path, our jobs, uh, relationships with ourself. Like, what do you need to do? Like, we could shape shift with dragon. Dragon will walk us through and shape shift with us. It's absolutely remarkable all the things that we can do with dragon.
Oh, that's very, very interesting. I know Jared from Pasadena Paranormal, he said deep conversation tonight. He's editing and watching and listening and trying at the same time. He works well with travel 12-hour days. So he's part of this group that we've got going on too. And his team, he was telling an interesting tidbit about their paranormal team and how one of his folks on his team, his family wasn't really happy with what they were doing because of their religious beliefs, etc. And so now they've got a workaround for that and how they incorporate. And so they do talk about their religious beliefs in their investigations and that. So, I feel like there's so many things that are interesting when you do stuff like what I do outside of the paranormal and spirit and then work with spirit. It just brings a completely different conversation with spirit, I guess. And we were having the conversation of why are some spirits, do they feel stuck or they're still here or they're traveling back and forth? But I don't think any of us completely know. We're just all here trying to learn from each other and help the spirits, whether we're alive or past or stuck or just traveling around. Because one of the ladies was saying, I think it was Deb, if she's still on, she says, well, maybe I've been doing it wrong this whole time, And it's like, no, nobody's doing it wrong. There is no wrong.
No.
It's all in how we're guided, right?
Very much so. Very much so. I honestly believe that nobody can do anything wrong when they're connecting with their spirits. If anything, they're putting their own limiting beliefs or they're putting expectations on themselves. And those expectations are what are holding them back. It's just like when we first stepped into connecting with Dragon there, I explained to you that you might have a vision, you might have a color, you might have a feeling, or you might have a sense of knowing. There's no wrong. There's no wrong. For me, I'm very visual. So when I get visual, I get, it's like, it's this weird little piece that it's not like I see the actual dragon there, but I get a sense of what that dragon looks like. So when I told you that, its broadside, its wings are there, I saw its tail, it's pointing that direction. And then other times I get very vivid, almost like photograph images as well. So there is no right or wrong way. It's just whatever your way is, as long as you're opening up to that with no expectations, no limitations, of being okay with the outcome. The other part to this too that I really want to emphasize is for the entire time that I've really made a choice to step on this path, have been doing things for the highest good, for the most benevolent reasons, and the greatest good of all. So I tend to always have things show up in their best forms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sarah says that they pray before investigations and then they each reach out to their personal guides and beliefs. Exactly. We do that as well, Sarah. And you know what? I think that, not to go off on a tangent, but I think that is also, I love what you just said, Sandra, because I'm seeing Sarah and I'm trying to remember Sandra. I feel, I'm sure, I can't prove it one way or another that there are demonic presences around, but I don't feel like they're as prevalent as some would lead you to believe. And I feel like they don't come through in our investigations because I don't allow it, because I don't even open myself up to that type of energy.
Yeah.
And I know some people might think differently. Some people look at you and like, well, how do you protect yourself? It's all right here. And they're like, oh, you can't just tell them they can't. You know what I mean? So that brings up a very interesting point that you said. I love that. I love that because that does confirm and validate what I feel is how I'm able to be that way in my investigations. Hi,
And
Randy. Normal.
I want to say something just a little bit more to that too. That the shaman way. Okay, so the shaman way is if something fierce and ferocious or scary shows up, you ask it to go away.
Yep.
It doesn't have a choice. It has to leave, right? So if it's staying around, it's because you believe that you don't have the strength or the power for it to leave. Also, cultures are very much in line with different things coming through. Their beliefs are ingrained in them. Coming from North America, being born into the family that I was born into, I don't have those limiting beliefs entrained in me. However, that doesn't mean that they don't exist. They actually do exist, but I choose not to step into the energy of that. And when I'm working with people, I love calling them my academics because I heard that my mentor say that today. It's not students, it's academics. And that just sounds so much more powerful, right? Empowering. When my academics are working with spirit guides and that, and something comes up like that, then that's a really good learning opportunity to recognize that, okay, I'm letting this come through.
Yeah.
I have the ability to stop this from happening. I need to break these old habits that I've had rather than continue to walk in fear around that. Very powerful.
So now can your dragon energy protect you? Can you call on them to protect you?
So let me tell you about an experience I had a number of years ago, and as you know, I've just really amped up in the last year working with dragon. But a number of years ago, we were doing clearing, and again, this was cultural. So this woman was living in Paris, in France, and her family was from possibly East India, possibly a Hindu culture. I'm not sure where, but it wasn't in Paris. It was a completely different country, obviously a different across an ocean. And she remembered things from her childhood of, being levitating off the bed, the whole 9 yards, right? So we went in with, I do something called pyramid power energy clearing. And so we went in with this pyramid power energy clearing. Now, when I say we went in, she was sitting in France, I was sitting in Canada. We were working on her home in the country her home was, okay? Yeah. So we got this trifactor happening. So anyway, we're doing this pyramid power clearing of this place, which is so powerful in its own right. And as this was happening, I could feel the energy of what her beliefs were. Okay. So I honor that. I don't disregard that because people have their own beliefs. How they break that cycle is what I love to help with. Okay. So anyway, we're working with this and I'm directing her how we're building this pyramid power energy. We're clearing, and when we clear the pyramid power energy, it has a top pyramid and a bottom pyramid. And more often than not, that's where the negative energy is shooting out is the top and bottom, and the positive energy is coming in from all the other directions that helps to create that geyser effect. So we're doing this, and I'm saying to her, well, I'm feeling the energy that you're being asked to call something in. And she called in this angelic force, like this beautiful angelic force. And then I felt the energy of this massive, massive white dragon coming in to assist her as well. So yes, dragons are there to help us in this kind of events and everything else. So yeah.
Okay. Awesome. I like that. I like that. So Sarah says she agrees. Most spirits are not evil. They connected with a well-known entity at an asylum that was supposedly evil, but he made a peaceful connection with them. Because it was your intention, Sarah. Your intentions were not to have a negative experience. Yeah. Michelle says she believes we have power over negative energies and we can choose not to work with those energies unless we are clearing a home. Like you were saying, you have to work with them to. And you know what? Sarah likes the pyramid visual. I always, since I've been doing the paranormal investigating, we never go into a location, even if we know that somebody's asking us for help, like you were asked for help. Purposely with the intention of removing that entity from that energy entity from that location. The first thing we want to do is try to have that peaceful connection. Try to see why they're being a problem. Try to see, is there anything that we can help you? So, yeah, I like this conversation, being able to marry the two kind of worlds together, because that is never our intention. It is their right to be in the energy space as much as it is ours. Can we learn how to be there together?
May I tell you about another experience that I had too? I know we're kind of slightly diverging off dragon energy, which is absolutely fine because the spirit takes us where it needs to go, right? Um, my daughter's best friend committed suicide in 2017, and I was asked after the fact to come up and clear the energy in the house because the family who owned the house, what happened there was negative energy in the house before my daughter, her best friend, and her ex-boyfriend lived there. And when I went in to clear the house, it was so remarkable what happened. Like I could talk for half an hour over just around that. However, what something that came up during all of this was I could actually feel the energy of this beautiful soul running around and being in the house. And I made it very clear to his soul, his energy, his beautiful energy that was there, that I wasn't there to clear him out. That I was there to clear away the negative energy of the house.
Yeah.
And it was just a beautiful, beautiful experience because of that. Yeah.
I love that. Well, I guess what you said earlier about, we as humans in our mind, we visualize what a dragon should look like, what an angel looks like, what Jesus looks like, what God looks like. You know, we don't know what some of these things really look like because we've not really, to our knowledge, seen them. We don't know. So I guess when you think of a dragon, you think of fierce, you know, strong, I can breathe fire, you know? And when you think of an angel, you don't think about the bad angels. You don't think about that. You think about beautiful white wings and halos and auras and all of that stuff. So that's interesting that you say. I mean, I feel like I do have a live on like real earth angels being here. I know that I've walked with earth angels on my journey, and I'm sure you have as well. They don't look like what you think an angel looks like. They look like a human being. Um, so I think it's really interesting because that's why I asked, can they help to protect us? Because I feel like when I think of a dragon strong, I can protect you. You know what I mean? I wouldn't naturally think of a dragon and think, oh, I'm gonna, you know, I don't know. I don't even know.
Well, there's the movie To Tame a Dragon or Teach a Dragon, or it's a cartoon. I love that, and that's what I allude to in that book about the dragon, because it is we're raised that dragons are ferocious all the way back into the I'm not sure what era that was, but dragons have been these ferocious beings that came and wiped out entire towns and cities and whatever else, and yet here we are teaching a dragon how to fly or something like that, or like yeah.
Yeah, I do. I don't know a lot of cartoons, or I'm not a movie person, but I do know which one you're talking about. I love that. I love that little cartoon.
How to Train Your Dragon. Yes, thanks, Sean.
Sarah
Yeah.
says that was a beautiful story. So yeah, I mean, actually, in all of the instances that I've faced in the last few years that I've been doing what I do, we've only had to remove two negative entities that didn't want our help, but they couldn't stay there. So they either needed to come to an agreement or they needed to leave. And so I feel pretty good about that. Then I also feel like, I have people constantly that are saying, you have to be careful. I can't believe you tell, them that they can use your energy to move the rods and stuff. And it's like, because I'm not feeling anything bad. I've already forbidden anything bad to touch me at that point. I think it's those that are fearful that are more apt to get something attached to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's happening a lot lately. I've had more and more calls.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know I'm drilling this, but I'm trying to understand. Is there anything specifically with what you teach that you would specifically go to your dragon versus an angel versus a guide versus a regular spirit guide versus an animal spirit guide? Or is it all whatever comes to you?
It's so interesting because, in all honesty, the very first guide that I really truly ever worked with was Archangel Michael. He's very prominent, very powerful. I can go on and on and on about stories of my energy intermingling with his. It's just a beautiful, beautiful relationship. Dragon has just really, like I said before, has just really coming up into the forefront right now to help planet Earth's humanity move through what we're moving through. Okay. I think for myself, I had a very basic religious upbringing. Yes, I was baptized. Yes, I was confirmed. I'm Catholic. However, I have this concept of that the human mind is who has created religion per se. So I step away from that human concept and step into the energy of allowing the angels, the ancient beings, the dragons, whomever wants to come through, come in of their own accord. And dragon just seems to be working with me more of late than the angels, etc. So when you ask the question, would I work with dragon over something? Yes and no. It depends on what the circumstances are, right? And also depends on if I'm doing it for myself or if I'm facilitating something with somebody else, right?
So
Because
kind of,
go ahead.
I was going to say, so kind of just you put the ask out, and whichever one answers the ask is who answers the ask.
Right, for the most part. I mean, usually I know when I'm working with dragon because dragon's already made himself apparent. It's just like they're my three main power animals have really made themselves apparent over this last 24 hours. There's a reason for that. Like my daughter's getting married on the weekend. My dad is doing traveling through an area that I'm concerned about. He's 87. So there's a reason why these animals are coming up and being forefront. And we talked about protection. I don't believe I need to call in protection. I feel more about, there's lower vibrational energy and higher vibrational energy. Maybe there's negative and positive energy. And I prefer to create a beautiful bubble around myself that flows with me. It travels with my vehicle or what have you, right? Then say, oh, I need protection. I don't believe I need protection because I'm not of that frame of mind that something's out to get me.
Yeah. And usually when we say that is more, when I say that, I mean, if I'm actively in an investigation.
Yeah.
So Sarah says she has a spiritual advisor very similar to us and had her team do some training under her recently and has really helped on their investigations. She loves seeing others. I love that, Sarah, because if some of the teams do it during investigations, they don't broadcast it. We are open about our prayer. We are open about the fact of what we are doing and that I was brought up Catholic as well, Sandra. And I feel I'm getting more and more to the point where I agree. Religion is man-made and, in my opinion, possibly to control others. And I feel like each individual's relationship with who they believe in is their own.
Yeah. I want to add to this again, too. For those who are unaware and would like more information, I have not read this myself. However, there is the Gospel of Nos, I believe is what it's called. And that's spelt like ghost, I believe, but with a GN instead of a GH. And Nos showed up for me really, really randomly and actually said that that's what it was Nos. So there's the Gospel of Nos that was actually written by somebody that was actually written before the Bible even. So there is a whole other aspect, and it is very much about being in service of helping, not creating this controlling environment. Like look at the Crusaders. That was all in the name of religion, and they slaughtered how many people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's interesting. I seem to have Archangel Gabriel around me a lot. That name comes up a lot. And at first, I thought it was for the spirit I was communicating with. But then I believe it might have been Michelle, and I discussed it. She's like, no, he was there for you. And so now I always welcome him when he comes, in, I always welcome him in because there's a reason he's there. So I think that's interesting because I haven't gotten as good at, I have met some of my guides. I'm more with my animal guides. So the dragon will definitely resonate with me more. So
May I say something to you, or may I tell you something? I guess would be the words I want to use. They're actually Archangel Gabriel is riding a white dragon. Like it showed very predominantly as white. I'm not sure if you know how tall Archangel Gabriel is. My belief when I've worked with Archangel Michael is that he's like probably about 10 feet tall. Even though we see him as a human being, he's very, very tall. And so I'm guessing that Archangel Gabriel is the same, very, very tall. And he's actually on the shoulders of a white dragon. And that white dragon actually is iridescent orange as well to it. So very, very magical looking. Very magical
oh,
looking.
that's awesome. I love that. Yeah, I feel like I would definitely, now that you've helped me open that gateway, I feel like it'll definitely resonate with, because I am the animal communicator. So I feel like I would resonate more. And in our investigations, more and more animals are coming through in our investigations, and it's so cool to have that happen. It's really neat to have them come through because they're
Yeah,
important.
they
They're important.
are. They
Well,
are.
yeah,
Yeah.
Enoch.
I just reading the notes too. You are too. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Would you guys
Love it.
like to do one more thing with dragon energy?
Yes, please.
Okay, so let's go back into just taking a few breaths, calming ourselves, coming into center. A couple more beautiful calming breaths. Asking yourself to be open, with no expectations. No limitations. And being okay with the outcome. Asking to connect with dragon again. The same one may show up, or it might be a different one, whatever. Just asking to connect with dragon again. And ask if you can touch dragon. And when you're asking if you can touch dragon, be open to accepting wherever dragon is offering, whether it's a talon, whether it's a wing, whether it's the jaw, the scale, whatever. Just allow yourself to be open to whatever dragon is wanting you to touch of it. And imagine what that feels like. The first thoughts that are popping into your head, just allow those thoughts. And above all else, witness how gentle dragon is with you. Now broaden this just a bit more and ask for a heart connection, heart to heart with dragon, with your dragon. And dragon is offering you a power word for the rest of this month or the next month. Just whatever word pops in. Thank your dragon. Let dragon know how much you've cherished this time with dragon. And know that dragon is always there with you. It may not physically show up when you ask, but dragon is still there. And when you're ready to come back into this beautiful space. Thank you.
Pretty cool.
I can tell you what I got first, and then it was so funny because I said Talon. I usually don't say things because I want each person to experience for themselves. But Talon was just so powerful, and I got this image of my hands, and I probably can't even do it. Let me move back. My hands like this around the Talon and feeling it down to the cone part, and just kind of realizing how big dragon is.
Oh my gosh.
And the word that popped in was visibility.
Ooh.
Which was really interesting. Yeah.
So for me, this was a different dragon. It was white, very bright white, but then it would kind of almost turn like a goldish yellow color. And immediately when I asked if I could touch it, it came over like I raised horses. It came over and put its head over my shoulder so I could give it a hug on its neck. That's gonna make me cry.
It's so powerful, isn't it?
Yeah, so I hugged its neck and I just felt really safe there. And then when I asked for the word that came was overcome. Yeah. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool.
Anybody want to share in the comments too what your experience was? We'd be definitely open to seeing what your experiences were.
Yeah, Sean, what happened for you? Did you get an experience? Sarah had to go. Michelle, what happened for you, my dear? Robin, did you have any experiences, any words, anything? That was really cool. I miss my horses.
Aw.
Yeah. My aunt had to have her 3-year-old world champion put down. I helped raise him, and it's just been, I can't even go to her place and see the others right now. It's too hard. Kitty, are you still on here? What about Amy? Nobody's going to share, or are you busy typing?
Yeah, let's hope they're typing, right? I have to tell you, I love how the star thing is on the top of my. Yeah, that's so cool.
That is cool. That is cool. So while they're typing, divinely protected after that, Robin is. Robin, Beautiful. Did you get a word? You're traveling to this wedding.
Yes.
How far do you have to travel?
It's about a 5-hour drive. Yeah.
Lovely. And when is it? On Saturday or Sunday?
Monday, actually.
Monday.
Yeah.
Michelle was taken to the cosmos again with the dragon. Is it connected? She wants to know.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah. You know what? If you think it's connected, it's connected. If you don't think it's connected, it's not going to be. Mm-hmm. So why not step into the energy of it being connected? Because that's more magical, right?
Right. Yeah. Sean saw a greenish, blue big dragon at first. He's her dragon protector. It was so loving, and we touched heads, and he was so warm, and his breathing was calming. My word is fast. Wow. That's what I forgot to say. When I was hugging him on and petting his neck, it was very, very warm and like just electric with energy. Yeah. Wow. So fast, you got visibility. I got overcome. Yeah. Did anybody else get a word?
The dragon in the cosmos. I just saw that. I'm guessing that's Michelle. Yep. The dragon in cosmos. Yes. We answered that.
Yep. And Sean's was surrounded by a white dragon that was flying over him.
Ooh, love it.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've almost been on here for an hour, and I just want to thank you in all of your chaos for coming on, Sandra. This has been great. I love it. And again, if anybody on here live or watching the replay is interested in buying Sandra's book,
the book's free. It's a free gift. Yeah. That book's a gift or is for sale on Amazon. But Dragon Book is the free gift on the medicine wheel on the sandrapelley.com website. Yeah.
Gotcha. Or if you want to join her group or you want to take a class, all of her links are below in the description, or you can reach out to me and I can get you in touch with her. And we are going to say goodbye to her because she's been so gracious to spend an hour with us in this crazy time. That's where I went during NDE. She saw a white dragon during a show Kitty did about seashells with a shell as a vision in the cosmos. This is the third time. Sean wants to learn more from you. So we'll connect Sean with you.
For sure.
We'll get her in your group. So
thank you.
All right. Everybody in the chat, thank you so much. Everybody rewatching this, thank you so much for spending this time. This was so magical and amazing. It's the first time we've actually done little mini meditations on my lives. So I loved it. And Michelle and I are going to be back with some card readings as soon as we can get it together. We've had a lot going on, but we'll be back doing some card readings. And so
thank you, Stephanie, as well. And thank your audience. Beautiful.
Yeah. And everybody, it's tomorrow's Friday. So let's have a good weekend and we will talk soon. Thank you, everybody.